What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting day, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be very excited for what we got going on today as well. And the reason I know that is because I feel like every single video you guys are commenting that we need to do this one certain thing, and I agree. We've been needing to do it for like half a year now. Let's get some cars moved around in the shop, get a very specific car up on the lift, and let me explain what we got going on. This car has been needing a new clutch for probably about 6 months now. We've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off just because the car's still drivable. But under any sort of power, under any sort of boost, it slips, and it slips pretty freaking bad. I'll throw a clip in here of what it sounds like. I am not sure if we're gonna get this entire project done today. I've done it a few times. It's not necessarily a hard process. I would say it's just more time consuming because there's so much stuff you have to deal with. Compared to like a Subaru, you have to deal with the transfer case. That takes quite a while. And then of course that throwout bearing clip always takes a while as well. I should probably clean this engine bay. A little dusty. If we can get just the tranny out today and take a look at the clutch that's in the car, I kind of forget what clutch we're even running. I'm pretty sure it's like a competition stage 2 or a stage 3. Probably a stage 3. And it did last quite a while, but it finally gave up the ghost under all the power. So it's time to go to something much better and that can withstand much more power. All right, guys, we let it cool down a little bit. Let's get started. So we're gonna start off with removing the front bumper. So to pull the bumper on this car, we have to pull off this little radiator core support cover. 4 bolts under that. Quick releases right there. And then some bolts on the bottom holding our skid plate on. All right, guys, up top we have a few things to remove. Let's go ahead and pull the intake out of the way. That filter's a little dirty. I'll probably clean that while we're working on this thing. Intake's gonna come off. You don't have to pull this lower intercooler pipe, but it definitely makes life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna pop that guy off along with the BOV and all the BOV hoses. And then from there, we'll have the wiring for the transmission and the shifter cables. Already getting a pretty good stockpile of parts off this thing. Engine bay is still fairly warm, so I'm gonna move on to some other stuff like the wheels, the axles, draining the fluids, all that good stuff. It's a perfect time to throw a new transfer fluid in this thing as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's get this thing up in the air. Our giant skid plate's in the way, so we're gonna completely remove that. And then wheels and axles gotta come out as well. So we got this axle completely removed with the CV axle stub that goes into the transmission. On the passenger side, all I usually do is just pop the CV axle out of the hub. You can leave it connected to the transfer. That'll give us plenty enough space to move the transfer over when it's time to pull the transmission out. From here, let's go ahead and pull off some stuff up top. So like I said, those shifter cables, some of the wiring, and that's about it for up top. I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time right now, see if we can remove that throat bearing clip. It's always a pain, so we might as well just get it out of the way right now. That was 10 seconds to remove that clip. I've never had it go that easy in my entire life. It is an ACT monolock collar, which I feel makes it a little bit easier over stock, but still, with ACTs in the past, I've always had like major issues 90% of the time. That was the easiest it's ever gone. I'm so freaking excited right now. I've spent like 4 or 5 hours on those things before. So pretty much all we have from here is that lower cross member, that guy right there, the hardware holding the transmission onto the engine, and then the transfer case to transmission hardware as well. As soon as we get all that stuff off, guys, this transmission is ready to come out. Okay, moving on to the transfer case. There are 3 bolts on the bottom, so 2 are right there, and then 1 is facing the other way back there, and then there's 3 on the top. 1 long one and 2 shorter ones like these guys here. Those 6 bolts for the transfer case, and then we could split the T-case off of the transmission. All right, my friends, as you can see, the T-case is off. Kind of hard to show you, but T-case is off the trans. Axle is still on, so there's no need to pull the axle. I mean, it's not that hard from here, but no need to pull that axle or that axle stub on the passenger side. From here, we have 2 mounts for the transmission, and then we've got to get out the tranny jack, and we got to pull the tranny. Simple as that. All right, my friends, transmission is out of the car. A little pro tip, it goes a lot easier if you remove all the bolts. That rear motor mount bolt right there, or the rear trans mount, I thought I already moved it all the way. Turns out I only pulled it out like halfway, and that's why it took so long to get the training out, because I didn't realize that till obviously the very end. As soon as you got that rear bolt all the way pulled out, the training came right out. This clutch, I mean, I can't see the disc yet, but usually when a clutch is severely burnt, there'll be a ton of material inside the bell housing on the trans, and I'm not seeing a whole lot, but obviously either way, it wasn't holding the power level that this vehicle makes. So let's go ahead and pop off the clutch. We got 6 bolts holding the pressure plate onto the flywheel, and then the disc will come off, and we're gonna be swapping out the flywheel as well. So let's pull off the clutch, see how it looks, pull off the flywheel, see how that guy looks. And whenever our new clutch shows up, which I'm very excited for, we can get the new clutch installed on the car, and we should never have to worry about that problem again. This is indeed a comp stage 3. This thing's definitely completely shot. There is no life on those pucks at all. Flywheel doesn't look terrible. If we needed to reuse that, we could probably have it turned, but the clutch that we're going with comes with a different flywheel, so we won't be using that. Oh wow, that's crazy. It looks like it was riding like right here because this plate got so thin, or the pucks got so thin, it's starting to ride right on the middle. That's pretty wild. Safe to say that boy is definitely shot. I'm not sure how many miles we got out of that thing. I feel like it's quite a bit though. I think we put that clutch in the car when we initially did the turbo kit, so that had to have been like 20,000 miles. I guess it's not a lot of miles for a clutch, but for how I treated the car, I would say that was a safe amount of miles. Not bad. One thing I did notice, and I wanted to ask you guys for your opinion on before I finish up today's video, because the clutch is not here yet, so we can't put a clutch in the car. One thing that we've never done on this thing is change up the calipers. The factory caliper color is nice, but I feel like it doesn't really go with everything that we got going on. Plus these things are super beat up. So I'm kind of debating, well, I really want to change the caliper color. It'd be kind of cool to do something to go along with like the half wrap theme. So maybe one color on one side, a different color on the other. But then if we ever change up the half wrap at all and go to like one solid color, then we have to change the calipers as well. So drop a comment down below. What color do you guys want to see on these calipers? Should we keep them red? Should we do like a white? Or should we do something really, really poppy that just stands way out? Drop a comment below, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's all we got for today. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.